The child's current justice is to stop his confidant. Therefore, in order for this child to spread his wings gently, I also want to light up the stars and illuminate his path forward. From now on, we will join faction alliance. Can you cross this bridge, Shakti? Shaking her walnut hair, Astrea smiled. Shakti also looked at the goddess and then at her family members. Look at the family emblems on their bodies, the sword and the wings that symbolize balance. Shakti and the others used to be models, and now they have inherited the proof of the correctness of their will. Under the watchful eyes of the gods and the nervous group members, Shakti closed her eyes. It didn't take long for her to move away from the presence of the gods, out of the way. Please cross. Everyone has the right to cross this bridge. Without waiting for the leader's order, the members prepared the flowers and handed them to the gods. Under the watchful eyes of the Ganesha Familia, who lined up to clear the way, and Asvi and Shakti who stayed here, the Astrea Familia, Demeter and Jord entered. Late greetings, long time ago, Astrea. How are you? I'm fine, Demeter. You and Jord look healthy too, great. Now is not the time to talk about it. Before the dark period, the three gods who came and went laughed together, but stopped after crossing the bridge and reaching the south side of the ruins, walking down the steps. As soon as they entered the island, the sound of battle that was playing became more intense. It was the sound of a deadly fight that no one who was not an adventurer from Orario should ever face. I'm sorry, I asked you to accompany me here from the city made of swords, Cecil and everyone. It's okay. We are the family of the goddess Astrea, and we will definitely protect her. And this is a big deal for Senior. 5 years ago, the girls who became family after leaving Orario showed joy. Seeing these girls who were considered Ryu's juniors, Astrea couldn't help but laugh and then looked forward. Look to the west side of the ruins, where the fighting screams still sound. Although we have the right to watch, we are not qualified to fight. So, let's watch from a distance here. Looking at the end result of Ryu and the others. After speaking, the goddess narrowed her blue eyes. In another part of the battle. I forgot to add prohibition to the rules outside the city. Master Freya, I'm sorry. Looking at the gods, against this, the Freya Familia, is impossible to have reinforcements. If there is any, it will be even more lively for the resonators, who think, so now it is too late to regret. Since there are loopholes in the established rules, such as omniscient and incompetent gods, they cannot reprimand Astrea and the others for participating in the battle, nor Shakti's judgment. Ibri's screams continued ringing, and on the 30th floor of such a divine tower, a pillar of the goddess was slowly walking through it. This is finally a final confrontation. With a voice like an old man's, hey, Loki sat in the vacant seat. Diagonally behind is Bet, who was brought in by force. Watching the battle with these gods who are fighting to the death, what are you kidding? He complained exhaustedly, but the goddess ignored him. She crossed her legs and looked at the huge mirror above her head. Beside her, another god also sat. Hey, troublemaking clown. You managed to send Mia there, what kind of magic did you use? You are ashamed to tell us, little boy. Didn't you exhaust all your means and put Astrea in? Loki said with a sneer at Hermes, who raised a hand. These two gods are actually behind-the-scenes supporters. Although I understand that the victory of the faction and coalition forces can be described as hopeless, but to protect the bell, or by looking at Freya's discomfort, the behind-the-scenes heroes, who have been formulating countermeasures for their own reasons. In addition to them, the faction coalition forces also received support from Finn and other people who were unable to fight, and now they have finally reached this watershed. Is there anything else you're hiding? No. After that it's a real confrontation. The bullet was empty. As for whether they will win after this, or they will lose, or they will start another ending. It all depends on the adventurers on the battlefield and the gods. We're really reluctant to support this European potato ball pie, but it's still much better than the current Freya. Much better. So, she continued. The scarlet-haired goddess looked at the scene in front of the mirror. We've all prepared for you up to this point, you have to win, little one. Just within visual range, there are lightning and generous things like this are happening, and the atmosphere that defeat is inevitable has been swept away. In order not to waste Hephaestus and the others' sacrifice, she ran a little. The self-proclaimed master of hide-and-seek managed to escape by chasing the soldiers. To be precise, buying enough time allowed her to escape her web of perception. There are also the props mixed by Naza. As soon as she discovered that many of the enemy troops were demi-humans who were used to relying on sense, Hestia used it from head to toe. Choosing to use it after being separated from the Forge god also played a big role when the gods were out of the game one after another. Confused by the sudden disappearance of the scent, the demi-humans had no choice but to move on to other targets. She didn't care about her head, she didn't notice the chubby twin peaks that protruded from the shadow of the ruins, and the young goddess was secretly peeking. It seemed that the searching for God that started before was coming to an end. The enemy is gradually returning to the west side. Deep within the ruins, violent dust and the sound of galloping horseshoes danced in the air. Facing the base camp. Due to the crisis, Alan and the others stopped hunting the gods. Seeing the strong warriors crossing the ruins of the city with a quick dash from east to west, Hestia first stroked his chest in safety. Having said that, what should I do next? Should I hide here, or move? It looks like reinforcements are coming from the south. Will it be safer to go there? Knowledge, he can't feel the battlefield. Hestia was very distraught. Although she wanted to ask Lily for her opinion, she was probably desperately commanding with her red eyes, and the goddess would roll her eyes in fear when she saw her. If her eyes are activated, it is estimated that the little one's screams will resound everywhere and the enemy will find her position. Furthermore, there aren't many other gods left, just when this situation of no one to trust made her hug her head. Hestia. The sound made her go limp with fear, and she let out a joyful voice when she saw that it was her divine friend arriving with her long, dark blue hair bouncing. Ah, looks like you too. You were saved by Naza's deodorant bomb. If Hestia can use the deodorant bomb to escape, then Mayak, who also has the deodorant bomb, can naturally use it with smart maneuvers. After the two gods confirmed that the flower inserted into each other's chest was intact, they praised each other for their smooth escape. Mayak, what should we do after this? Freya's children seem to have returned to the west side, we just need to find a place other than the west side and hide secretly. West side? Let's go west, come on, Hestia. Hey! Hestia was surprised to see that Mayak supported the option that had been discarded without saying a word, and at this moment. This hide-and-seek battle doesn't make any sense anymore. If Naza or Bel falls, what's left? We'll only become prey. I saw the battlefield from the high platform. What's happening on the west side is a decisive battle between the two camps with all their strength. We must win here. What can be done, that's dash. Update, skill value. Hestia understood Mayaka's divine intention and spoke her follow-up words. Aim for the experience points gained in this war game and increase your family and Bel as much as possible. Do you mean that? That's right. Of course, we absolutely cannot be eliminated. If the main god is eliminated, the family members will also lose the right to continue fighting. This is also accompanied by the risk of the flower being taken away. Mayaka's face became tense, however. It's okay, let's go. We can't be the only ones who still stay in the safe zone for leisure. Let's help Bel, Naza and the others. Let's be the goddess of victory, Mayak. Although I am a male god. Both gods showed their faces with a smile. He said his decision and ran towards the main battlefield on the west side where families gather. If each weapon strike is heavy and powerful enough to surpass the limit, if connected together, it will be a melody that surpasses even thunder. It was the first time the adventurers knew about it. The black sword and steel shovel continued clashing. Upon hearing the sound of destruction, Van, a half-human race lying in the auditorium, turned pale. After waking up from the coma, he discovered that a fierce and wordless battle was unfolding in front of him.